Russia says that it supports Pakistan joining BRICS. What are my views about this? And Anonymous T6N says, what do you think of the Russian Deputy Prime Minister's visit to Pakistan? What was the reason for this visit? And is Russia warming up to Pakistan once again? Okay, now we know, let's understand the context, the broader context of this entire matter. We know that in 2022, there was a coup in Pakistan, and Imran Khan was ousted. The apparently democratically elected prime minister was ousted, and some other fellow was put in place. Sharif, right? Shabazz Sharif, I think. I think he is still the prime minister of Pakistan. So the Imran Khan experiment ended. He is now in jail, where he languishes, and Shabazz Sharif or whoever is the prime minister. Doesn't matter who the prime minister is. The army is actually the entity that controls Pakistan. So the ouster of Imran Khan was a turning point in the sense that it until Imran Khan was prime minister, he was trying to bring the nation closer into China's embrace. And after Imran Khan's ouster, the nation once again, Pakistan, once again went into the American embrace. And after that, you had the visits, multiple visits of Pakistani defense individuals, top-ranking military leaders to the US, meeting with the US defense establishment and all that. So Pakistan is very much back in the US embrace. It's once again a US vassal state. Okay, so that's what Pakistan is. It is once again a US vassal state. Now, when you are a US ally and you want to join BRICS, doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't add up. BRICS, the Americans see it as an anti-West kind of coalition, right? It's part of the attempt by nations like Russia, China, etc., to bifurcate the world order, and it's an alternative to the Western so-called rules-based world order, right? The BRICS thing. So if a nation like Pakistan, which is a US ally, US vassal, wants to join BRICS, it raises question marks, doesn't it? So when Russia says, says, blah, it's words. When Russia says it supports Pakistan joining BRICS, it's words. It is words. It's not an action. I can say anything I want. Politicians make a million statements a year, and most of the statements essentially, unfortunately, are meaningless. So you can say one thing, do another. That's the oldest trick in the book in politics, geopolitics, whatever. So when Russia says that it supports Pakistan joining BRICS, it means nothing, more or less. It is to keep the game going, essentially. It's a ploy to keep the game going. What does it take for a nation to join BRICS? That's the question we have to ask ourselves, right? What does it take for a nation to be able to join BRICS? I mean, obviously, there are clear rules when it comes to a nation, how a new nation can become a new member of BRICS. There are very clear rules about this, and I think that under BRICS rules, the leaders of the founding nations of BRICS, they have to decide on the merits or demerits of each new membership application with full consultation, and the decision is made by consensus. That's, I believe, how the new membership applications are processed. So if India were to object to Pakistan's application to become a member of BRICS, it's very hard to see how that rule can be circumvented. So essentially, it is the BRICS nations, their leaders, who will decide by consensus. And I'm sure it has to be unanimous consensus that a new nation should be admitted into BRICS. So if Brazil agrees, China agrees, India disagrees, Russia abstains, and South Africa agrees, then there's one abstention and one disagreement. Or let's say everyone agrees but India disagrees, then once again there's a disagreement and there is no consensus. So without consensus, it's not going to be possible for a new application to be approved without the whole structure, the whole system breaking down. So I think Russia understands this very well. I think Russia's relationship with India is way more important than its relationship with Pakistan, which is a fair weather ally to just about everybody, which is a US asset. Um, so I think so. That's what I make of it. I think it's just words. Now, what do I make of the Russian deputy prime minister's visit to Pakistan? What's the reason for this? Is Russia warming up to Pakistan once again? Or I think Russia just wants to keep relationships going. So they've sent a low ranking person, not even the prime minister, the deputy prime minister, on a visit to Pakistan to discuss this whole BRICS thing, probably at the behest of China. The Chinese probably are playing multiple games. They always play 78 dimensional chess, don't they? The Chinese. They think that they are extremely inscrutable and opaque and all that. So they will most likely the Chinese would have asked Russia to send a reasonably high ranking person to Pakistan to continue the relationship. And the Chinese probably want Pakistan to become a member of BRICS. And the Chinese obviously will know that without consensus, which means India's approval, Pakistan can't become a member of BRICS. It's just a game to keep the pressure up. The Chinese are currently engaged in a possible disengagement on the India-Tibet border, and possibly some kind of better relationship with India, but they will play all kinds of games at the same time in parallel. So I think there's a significant China shadow over all this. So I don't think the Russians would like to have BRICS I mean, Pakistan in BRICS. I don't think the Russians will want to antagonize India. The Russians have very few friends, and we have a very old relationship and a relationship which has a significant amount of trust. You cannot just destroy such a relationship by making a few rash moves. So I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's unlikely that Pakistan will become a member of BRICS. Even the Turks have applied to be a member of BRICS. Turkey wants to be a member of BRICS. Turkey is an official member of NATO. I mean, how on earth can you be on both sides? So there's all kinds of games being played right now.